Power to the truth. This is Margot. This is Thursday, April the 18th, 2019, 6:02 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. So I'd like to just do an update on what's going on with my Subscribestar page and the updates I've done on my website as well. Now, if you're not familiar, I recently created an account and a page over here on Subscribestar.com so that people can support my work if they'd like to for $5 a month, and also to give us a safe place so that I can post things that are of a more sensitive nature, or so that we can interact, and so we could have a safe place to go to besides just everything being out in the open on YouTube and Facebook and things like that. So far I like the platform. I found some things that I'm having to work around. So here it is. It's subscribestar.com/Margot. And I've got 10 subscribers, so I'd like to thank all my subscribers. And you can message me over here, private message me. When you subscribe, you have access to private posts as well, which I put up a lot of public posts. What we're looking at now are the public posts, and but I do put up private posts too. And right now I'm not logged in, but apparently they're having a little bit of a problem with the donation thing right now, and so right now I'm not able to receive donations. But if people would like to donate to my cause, because this is what I do, and I'm living on Social Security and just doing this and getting a few coaching clients here and there, you can certainly contact me through my website, and I'll let you know how you could donate to me, so either through PayPal or another way as well. But I have received donations over here on Subscribestar, but I emailed them and they said they're working on it and that it'll be restored shortly, that they're doing maintenance or whatever. Anyway, there's that. Also, there's the videos that I upload over here have to be pretty short. I can't go much over 15 minutes because of the file size, and there is a file size limit as to what can be stored on this page. And so what I'm doing is I've decided that after about between 1 and 2 weeks, usually about 10 days of the posts being up over here on Subscribestar, I'm archiving them on my website, and they're available for anyone to see. So they're public over here on my website, even the private posts, and I think that this is a good solution, especially for people who aren't able to subscribe or can't afford it. You can, at least my members have the information first. And a lot of Patreon people, they'll give their members first access to these videos before they're put up on YouTube or whatever. So it's not any different than that. So here's my website. You can find it by margoshealingcorner.com, and then you'll send you over here. But it's really GLC for Green Living Coaching .margoshealingcorner.com. But either way, you'll get here, and I've kind of cleaned up the menu bar here, and the home page is my blog, and so there's that, and you can hear the archives from my blog posts. And here's all the ways that you can find me. And here are my books that I've written. I've written 3 ebooks that are available on Amazon. And you can also search the website here. You just put in a search term like methane, and everything, all my posts having to do with methane will come up, or abrupt climate change or whatever. Also, I've been updating my useful links page, and this is similar to the links in the description part of my YouTube videos, but if you don't want to go to one of those videos, these are most of the research links that I use, and so it's just an easy way to find them. And I have all kinds of things. National Snow and Ice Data Center. Here's the Navy website to look at the sea ice. Here's the NOAA website to look at methane. Here's the CAMS website to see methane. Here's space weather, and so on and so forth. So I'm always adding to this page, so you can be sure and look here if you're looking for a research link. And then here are my Subscribestar archives, and I have a drop down menu for the months, and I started posting at the end of March. And here are the archives now, and so as I archive them over here, I'll take them off of my Subscribestar page to free up the page of the memory, and it keeps it fresh looking. You don't have to scroll through forever. So some of these videos are just links from my YouTube videos, and if I had put private videos up on Subscribestar, they're actually over here now on my website. I've uploaded them to my website, and you can play them from right here. Now, March didn't have any private videos, but April does. So if we go to April, here were all the posts from April. And here's the first private video that I'd put up, and it was 33, what's up with these 33 earthquakes. It was 33 earthquakes noted in the Andaman Sea on April 1st, 2019. And it's got a little video player, and this video is uploaded right onto my website. I have total control, and of course people can't comment over here, but that's okay. And then you can just hit the play button and just watch it from right there. And so this keeps me from having to get a Vimeo account, or worry about doing making videos over on YouTube, private or not private or whatever. But my web hosting, I have unlimited space on my web hosting account, so I figured I might as well take advantage of it. And so this is what I've been working on for the last couple of weeks, and I'm real pleased with the way it's shaping up. And now people who are not able to join me on Subscribestar, or don't want to for whatever reason, you can come over here and see what I was posting. And here's one of the private videos, and anytime I see new methane data, I do a little short video about methane from CAMS, and this is what it looks like. It won't have the YouTube thing. This is the thing from YouTube, Margot's Healing Corner, and so it looks different like that, but it has the player down here, or you can hit there. And this was methane data from CAMS for Wednesday, March 27th, and it says detailed report. And so I'm real pleased about how this is working out. And it's been some work and been a bunch of trial and error stuff. And using WordPress is cool because they put their own video player in and audio player and everything. And I didn't realize I've not used WordPress that much before I started using it when I redesigned my website here. And I'm getting to know it, and I like it. Here's another one. Methane report for CAMS data for Friday, March 29th. Detailed report. And so on. So, I mean, I've done a ton of stuff. A ton of stuff is going up. Ton of reports, a ton of things, and this is just kind of like MySpace over here between Subscribestar and now over here on my website, that it's a wealth of information, and all these articles are linked up. Like here's this one from New Zealand, where they were seeing a bunch of earthquakes and talking about the seismic event. Here's another one about New Zealand and the Constitution or the Parliament. And so all the articles are here, so it's neat to see them all. Just to see them all right there. And if you want to search them, that search engine on my home page works for the whole website. And here I've made a drop down section for here you can click about Margot and read about me. If you want to book a coaching session, you click there. If you want to contact me, click here. If you want to join my mailing list, click here. And then this is a new page that I just got up yesterday. And it's a page on spiritual warfare, if people are interested. And it's basically a crash course on spiritual warfare with prayers and techniques that you can use. And I did this series back in 2017, and I've got them on YouTube as a playlist, but I've got them over here now. I reposted them as audio podcasts, and you just click there and it plays. And if you want to read the text of the prayer, you just click there. Some of these are from another website, from Dan Duval's Bride Ministries website. Some of these prayers are from there because I took classes from him on spiritual warfare. So that's kind of what's going on my website. So I just wanted to share all that. Just going to go from my Subscribestar page. The first article is from Oroville regarding the dam and the spillway. This is Oroville News Live. They posted this today. This is the little newspaper from over there. Oroville operations and main spillway update. Now we're real interested in this because of the spillway that failed 2 years ago. Now it's been rebuilt, but we've had so much snow. The snowpack is more than 150% of average in the Sierra Nevadas. So all that snow is about to melt because it's warming up, and now it's raining over there, and they're expecting a lot of snow melt and a lot of water to be coming down. So, and they had shut down the spillway a few days ago without really saying anything. And so there was a lot of speculation about what was going on. I didn't want to report on it until I kind of got some information on it. So here's their official press release. Lake Oroville is currently at 867 feet. Now, the top of the dam is 900 feet. So that's the top of the dam. Total releases to the Feather River are 9,500 cubic feet per second and will gradually be reduced over the coming days because of dry weather forecasts. Sierra snowpack is more than 150% of average for this time of year. Well, it's dry weather forecast in the next few days, not the last one I saw. It was going to be raining over there anyway. DWR, which is the Department of Water Resources, expects the lake level to rise due to the above average snowpack, but the Oroville operations plan is designed to safely accommodate and release this level of inflow. The plan aims to keep lake levels higher toward the end of the rainy season in order to provide water supply and recreation opportunities throughout the summer, while also providing enough space for any late season precipitation and snowmelt. DWR anticipates continued releases through Hyatt, that's their power plant over there, and possibly additional releases from the main spillway this spring as part of normal operations to manage reservoir levels. The main spillway operated as anticipated during its first use, and we're ready to use it in the future as part of Oroville operations. DWR will notify the public and media of any planned use of the spillway. Since Oroville's main spillway gates closed last week, a team of DWR engineers have been performing a thorough inspection of the main spillway to evaluate its performance. All the scaffolding and activity you are witnessing is related to those efforts. Engineers will continue to be visible on the main spillway performing these inspections. And so that's the end of the article. So that was their update, because if you don't tell people, then a lot of rumors get started. And I saw one article, I didn't know how accurate it was. They said that they thought it was leaking, they thought it wasn't going to work, and this and that. And, let's just see what happens. And then the next post, this is another video from Nostradamus. This is his third one, Phone Age News, number 3. It's so cute. People, I recommend check it out. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's just starting out, and he's a natural. He's just got such a cute sense of humor with reporting on this stuff. So, and check out the map, the summer forecast map that he made. It is so cute. It's in this video, and I was just laughing. But it's serious, and it's all true. It's all true. And he looked into his Doomatron to see what was going to happen. So thanks Nostradamus for that. Then here was we've had some large earthquakes in the last 24 hours. Here was a 6.4 down here to south of Australia, right on the red line with the Antarctic Ridge. Western Indian Antarctic Ridge on Thursday. 6.4 earthquake. Of course, we'll go over it when we do the earthquake report. Nearest volcano was 1,510 kilometers away. So it didn't set off a volcano, at least. It was a magnitude 6.4. They say depth 10 kilometers, but we know that that's the default depth from USGS. And let's see. There were no reports of whether people felt that one or not. So there's that one. Then there was one off the coast of Taiwan. This is from Taiwan News from today. Taipei MRT and Airport MRT shut down temporarily after 6.1 earthquake. Building on Taipei City's Chang'an East Road reportedly closed off. And here's a picture of the damage at the MRT Control Center in Taipei. It looks like ceiling tiles fell down. It was not on land, it was just off the coast. It was in the water. After a magnitude 6.1 earthquake hit the east coast region of Hualien Thursday, Taipei City's entire mass rapid transit system, that's MRT, was closed down for inspections which were completed to allow a resumption of services from 2:30 p.m. The airport MRT also stopped services for about 20 minutes, reports said. Trains stuck between stations were moved to the closest station to let passengers disembark. The Taiwan Railways Administration, or TRA, was also suspending some services, mainly along the East Coast, while other trains reduced speed. TRA called on passengers to check for the latest information. Water mains at Hualien City Railway Station broke and flooded the main passenger waiting hall. That's not good. The main road across mountainous central Taiwan saw segments closed off due to the risk of landslides. High-speed rail trains stopped temporarily but soon resumed service. There were also reports of widespread damage to buildings, with ceiling panels falling to the ground and products falling off shelves at supermarkets. On Taipei City's Chang'an East Road, an office building was listing while files had fallen off the outer walls, cable station TVBS reported, leading officials to close off the site. A dormitory at National Taiwan Normal University reported damage to its sanitary system. That's the sewer system. According to Taiwanese media reports, the Japanese island of Okinawa issued a tsunami alert, while residents of the Chinese coastal province of Fujian also felt the quake. The main tremor at 1:01 p.m. was followed by at least 2 aftershocks within half an hour, the Central Weather Bureau said. Visiting the emergency center, Premier Su Tseng-Cheng warned citizens that rain expected for Friday might increase the risk of landslides in mountainous areas. So they don't talk about injuries. Here's one. Taiwan Health Minister suffers minor injuries during the magnitude 6.1 earthquake. Seven people reported injured in Taipei after the 6.1 quake strikes. Update: 2 Taipei buildings tilt sideways after magnitude 6.1 earthquake strikes. 2 tourists injured in rockfall after magnitude 6.1 earthquake strikes East Taiwan. So it doesn't look like any deaths, and I mean, that was a huge earthquake. Here's some more information on that quake. This is from Volcano Discovery. They listed it as a 6.2, and it came in at 5:01 UTC time. And it was off the coast, right over here. And look at all the people who wrote in that they felt it. Let's scroll down and see what people say here. Look at all this. A lot of people wrote in. It was big and keeping shaking for almost 30 seconds. That was the first one. They were 87 kilometers from the epicenter. They were in Taiwan. From the Quanglin Township. Entire apartment in Zudong was shaking violently for about 30 seconds. Items on walls are crooked, loud rumbling sound heard, and walls were visibly rocking. Here's one, 10 to 15 seconds, mild rocking back and forth. From the Huli district, from the Zitun district in Taiwan. I felt it for a good while, and I saw hanging items, i.e. keys, swinging mildly for even longer. In Zhenchu, sitting at the kitchen table, felt that I was moving horizontally in different directions. Soft but quite long movements lasted maybe 2 minutes. Wow, that's very long. So strong here in Taipei. There was one big shake that got us moving. I was only at the 2nd floor and can't imagine higher. Then it kept shaking for 30 seconds. Swaying a building could be felt about 1 minute following onset of quake. And so on. So it doesn't look like there was a lot of damage. Here's this long one. Let's see what they say. They were from the Tamsui district. No, from Taoyuan district. From Taoyuan. First time I felt an earthquake in Taiwan. Got here a few hours ago. Was at a restaurant in Taoyuan, and I thought it wasn't a big deal, and for some reason was borderline laughing since I didn't know it was an earthquake at first. The whole building was wobbling and swaying. I thought it was because the building was old. It didn't feel like it was going to crash though. Well, yeah, and if you've never been in an earthquake, you don't know what to expect, and but yeah, the building moves, things shake, things that are on shelves can fall off. Even with little shaking, things can fall, and so you want to be careful, like where you put your bed. If you're in earthquake-prone territory, where you put your bed, and don't put it next to shelves where they're going to be falling over, or loose items from the walls that might be falling over on you. Anyway. Oh, I also want to No, this is going to go too long. I'll leave a link below for earthquake preparedness, because we're going to be having more and more earthquakes as we go into this. And well, let me just pull that up. I have it. I'm going to pause the recording and I'll pull it up real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, this website is ready.gov/earthquakes. And this is pretty detailed page about what happens. An earthquake is the sudden rapid shaking of the earth caused by the breaking and shifting of underground rock. Earthquakes can cause buildings to collapse and cause heavy items to fall, resulting in injuries and property damage. Earthquakes can happen anywhere, though higher risk areas include California, Alaska, and the Mississippi Valley. They can happen without warning. Apparently they're talking about the U.S. So, earthquake-prone areas are the Ring of Fire, Indonesia, Fiji, Tonga, New Zealand, Taipei, Japan, Alaska. Anyway, they can happen without warning. They can cause fires and damage roads and cause tsunamis, landslides, and avalanches. And avalanches are where snow just comes rolling down. If an earthquake happens, protect yourself right away. Drop cover, then hold on. If in a vehicle, pull over and stop. If in bed, stay there. If outdoors, stay outdoors. Do not get in a doorway. Do not run outside. Well, you have to decide if you need to go outside or not. And if you have like a table to get under, a strong table or a desk, that's good, so that structure doesn't get fallen on you. How to stay safe when an earthquake threatens. You also want to whistle in your earthquake preparedness kit, because if you get buried under rubble and people are coming to find you, if you've got a whistle, you can just blow the whistle, because you don't want to be yelling all the time and wear out your voice. And you might not be able to, might be too weak to even call out, but you can blow a whistle. Secure items such as televisions and objects that hang on walls. Store heavy and breakable objects on low shelves. Practice drop, cover, then hold on with family and co-workers. Drop to your hands and knees. Cover your head and neck with your arms. Crawl only as far as needed to reach cover from falling materials. Hold on to any steady furniture until the shaking stops. Create a family emergency communications plan that has an out-of-state contact. Plan where to meet if you get separated. Make a supply kit that includes enough food and water for at least 3 days. A flashlight, a fire extinguisher, and a whistle. There you go. Consider each person's specific needs, including medication. Do not forget the needs of pets. Have extra batteries and charging devices for phones and other critical equipment. Now, this is good to have for any kind of emergency, not just an earthquake. It's like a go bag, a bug out bag. And some people like to just have a bin and put it in their car if they can. Put it in like a big storage bin, a plastic storage container, and put it in the trunk of their car. Consider obtaining an earthquake insurance policy. Standard homeowners insurance does not cover earthquake damage. Consider a retrofit of your building to correct structural issues that make it vulnerable to collapse during an earthquake. Oh, and by the way, a wood structure is much safer to be in than a stone or a concrete structure, because if that concrete falls on you, you're toast. Wood, it's a lot lighter weight. Survive during, be safe after. So I'm not going to read all of that. Well, I will. It's not that much left. Drop, cover, then hold on like you practice. Drop to your hands and knees. Cover your head and neck with your arms. Hold on to any sturdy furniture until the shaking stops. Crawl only if you can reach better cover without going through an area with more debris. If in bed, stay there and cover your head and neck with a pillow. That's in case anything's falling or glass is breaking. If inside, stay there until the shaking stops. Do not run outside. If in a vehicle, stop in a clear area that is away from buildings, trees, overpasses, underpasses, or utility wires. If you are in a high-rise building, expect fire alarms and sprinklers to go off. Do not use elevators. If near slopes, cliffs, or mountains, be alert for falling rocks and landslides. And then afterwards, expect aftershocks to follow the largest shock of an earthquake. Check yourself for injury and provide assistance to others if you have training. If in a damaged building, go outside and quickly move away from the building. Do not enter damaged buildings. If you are trapped, cover your mouth. Send a text, bang on a pipe or wall, or use a whistle instead of shouting so that rescuers can locate you. And you want to cover your mouth so you don't breathe in a bunch of toxic debris. If you're in an area that may experience tsunamis, go inland or to higher ground immediately after the shaking stops. Save phone calls for emergencies. Once safe, monitor local news reports via battery-operated radio, TV, social media, and cell phone text alerts for emergency information and instructions. Use extreme caution during post-disaster cleanup of buildings and around debris. Do not attempt to remove heavy debris by yourself. Wear protective clothing, including a long-sleeve shirt, long pants, work gloves, and sturdy, thick-soled shoes during cleanup. You also want to wear eye protection and maybe some kind of little respirator mask, so you're not breathing in all that stuff. And then there's more stuff. Links down there. So I will include that link in my show notes. In fact, I'll go ahead and put that in my show notes right now. Let's see. Put it right down here. And now let's move on to earthquakes. We have USGS pulled up here for all magnitudes for the last 24 hours worldwide, and right now we're showing 298 earthquakes on the map. So here's that big one off the coast of Taiwan, and here's that big one just south of Australia. So we're going to be going over all of those. Of those, 26 are 2.5 magnitude and higher. So let's see what's about to come off the map. First one is at 7:44, so we've got plenty of time. We can start wherever we like. So I'm going to start with this one in South America. A 5.6 near La Serena, Chile, that came in last night at 9:06 p.m., 48 kilometers deep. And these times I'm telling you now are Pacific time because that's my time zone. Now let's look down here on this big one. They're calling it a 6.5, even though the other place called it a 6.1 or 2 or some, I can't remember. 6.5, Western Indian Antarctic Ridge. So those are the tectonic plates that are meeting. This is the Western Indian plate and this is the Antarctic plate. This 6.5, it happened at 7:46 this morning, and of course here's their default of 10 kilometers deep. So we don't really know how deep that was. So that was at 7:46 this morning, and a very large earthquake, and that will cause other quakes to happen. But it was in the ocean, not near any islands or anything, so it didn't cause any damage, unless there might have been a ship going by that would have been affected. Then coming on up here was a 4.4 in the Fiji region at 1:57 this morning, 528 kilometers deep, so that's very deep. And the deeper it is, the more it will cause the tectonic plates to shake and move around the planet. Next, we've got this one's next, a 4.8 near Rabaul, Papua New Guinea at 11:54 this morning, 204 kilometers deep. That looks like it was in the ocean off the coast of the island. And a 4.9 near Arawa, Papua New Guinea at 2:05 this afternoon, 176 kilometers deep. This was on land, so that's high enough that people would definitely feel it, and it might have caused a little bit of damage. Except it was deep, so the deeper it is, the less damage it'll cause on the surface. So, and the less you're going to feel it. Next up here, another one in Indonesia, 4.5 near Bitung in the ocean here at 2:31 this afternoon, 171 kilometers deep. Next, we have two stacked up here in the Andaman Sea again. We have a 5.0 at 2:52 this afternoon, and 5 minutes later was another 5.0 at 2:57 this afternoon. They're calling it near Mohian, India. That's the reporting station. Now here's that big one off just right off the coast of Taiwan. Here's Hualien. Here's the airport that they were talking about. So some of these roads were shut down for a while, and the trains, they were shut down for a while. So it's coming in at a 6.1 on USGS. And Pacific time, it happened at 10:01 p.m. last night, and they're showing it at 20 kilometers deep. So that's not very deep. It definitely could have caused tsunamis. It doesn't say over here. So, because it doesn't have the little wave. Doesn't mean anything though. Okay, here's a 4.9 near Nago, Japan at 2:27 this morning. Next, a 4.1 off the coast of Tahara, Japan at 1:09 this morning, 336 kilometers deep. And that's all on that side of the Ring of Fire. Then on land, here in Afghanistan was a 4.3 near Farkar, Afghanistan at 9:32 this morning, 197 kilometers deep. Then here's one in Africa, in the Congo, a 4.5 near Sake, Democratic Republic of the Congo. This happened at 1:18 this morning. That's in a place we normally don't see earthquakes. So I think that's all of the international quakes. Now let's switch over to all magnitudes. And let's take a peek at Hawaii. We've got 7 here today. Here's 3.4 near Waikoloa Village at 5:27 this afternoon, 16 kilometers deep. Here's a 1.9 near Leilani Estates at surface level. Yesterday at 7:16 last night. And then the rest of them are, this is the Kilauea crater, it's a volcano, and then one on the side. So we got 4 here near Kilauea, 2.2, 1.9, 1.7, and 1.7. And this one was at a negative 0.1 kilometer depth, and we can see that was up on the crater in the rim. So there's that. Next, let's see what Dominican Republic is doing. We've got 7 here today. I'll call them off. 2.4, 1.1, 2.4, 1.0, 2.1, 1.7, and 1.9. So those are pretty small. Not enough to do damage, but showing movement definitely. Now let's move on up to Alaska. We're showing 98 for Alaska today. An average for Alaska is between 50 and 100 in a day. Let's see how many of those are 2.5 magnitude and higher. First one is this 3.6 near Nikolsky. This happened last night at 7:44 p.m. 2.9 Larsen Bay. 2.8 Anchor Point. 2.5 Gustavus. Then these are at Kobuk. How many are there? 2 today. 3.4 and 3.3. And these had some depth, so they weren't at the surface. So let's look at all magnitudes now. So for Kobuk, we've got 48 for all magnitudes. So let's just see. Most of these are in the 1s range. A lot of them still are at, or some of them were still at the surface level, 0 depth. Some of them were deeper, like here's one 10 kilometers deep, a 1.1. And here's a 1.2, 0 depth. And it's everything in between. Here's a 2.0 at 1.8 kilometers deep. And so on. So that's still rocking up there. So no one has commented on what they think is happening up at Kobuk. If anyone has any ideas or information, you could certainly put it in the comments section under this video. That would be appreciated, because I don't know. Here's a 1.4 Arctic Village, 2.0 Koktovik, and 1.9 Koktovik. And then coming on down through the middle of the state, they're just peppered around. Here's a little cluster. See, we've got a little cluster at Eielson Air Force Base. So the Air Force Base is shaking. It's at 0.7 up to a 1.8. That's the last one at 2:24 this afternoon. Here's another one near there at 1.2. Anchorage is slowing down. So let's move on down into the lower 48. Nothing on this east side. Nothing at all. So here we're going to start out in Colorado near Dove Creek again. 2.5 magnitude at 10:56 last night at a minus 1.3 kilometer depth. Then in Utah, Farron's got a couple, and here's Farron. They have 4 here today. The largest one is the 2.3. And then East Carbon City has 2, a 2.2 and a 2.1. These are both at negative depths. This 2.2 was at a minus 3.4 kilometer depth, and the 2.1 was minus 3.5 kilometer depth. So we know what that means. If you've been watching my earthquake reports, you know what that means. Okay, is Yellowstone just being quiet? No, it's not. Here we go. Okay, this is the Yellowstone region. We've got 5 here today. So let's zoom in. Let's see what this biggest one is. A 2.6 near Lincoln, Montana at 5:28 this afternoon. 1.4 Frenchtown, Montana at 2:47 this afternoon. Here's a quarry blast. Oh, they blasted 2 hours early today. I guess they didn't want to work during their lunch hour. There's a 1.9 magnitude quarry blast near Butte, Montana. This one came in at 10:02 this morning at a minus 2 kilometer depth. Normally they blast around noontime. Maybe they had somewhere to go at noon. Here's a 1.4 near Lima and a 1.3 near Lima. So there's those. Now let's see what's going on. We've got some activity up here in Washington. We've got, what's this? Oh, that's the Gustavus. We saw that. Alaska. I'm getting lost. Here we go, coming down into the Washington area. Nothing 2.5 magnitude and higher. That's what I was looking for. Alright. Let's check out our real-time tremor map. Look, nothing in the last 3 hours. It's amazing. See? Nothing. Totally silent for 3 hours. Here's 24 hours though. That made up for it. Look at all that. Right here to the west of Seattle. 4 hours of tremor in the last 24 hours. That's some shaking going on. And just a couple of little tremors down here south of Redding, California. And then most of them, then here's one just to the west of Mount St. Helens. Then the rest are up here by Seattle. So, let's see what's happening. We've got 11 here today, including a blast or explosion. Let's just start at the bottom, call them off. 1.5, Camano. 1.9, Peaceful Valley, and this was at 7:52 last night at a minus 0.8 kilometer depth. So that was up in the mountain. 1.3, Packwood. 0.3, explosion near Royal City at 8:35 last night. Boy, they're blowing stuff up late at a minus 0.2 kilometers depth. They were working overtime. 0.6, Chico, Washington. 1.7, Manchester. 1.6, Darrington. 1.0, Amboy. That's Mount St. Helens at 4:22 this morning. 0.8, Yakult. That's down there by Amboy. 1.5, Rockport. And a 1.3, Clay Elam. So, here's Mount St. Helens. So these two were south of it. But this one near Packwood is not very far from Mount Rainier. That's another good volcano. Portland. Oh, I nearly bypassed these blasts in Portland. .9 near Veneta, Oregon. This is from an explosion at 2:30 this afternoon. And another explosion, a 1.4 near Monmouth, Oregon at 10 o'clock this morning. We can't let those explosions get by us. Now, in Northern California, we've got a 1.4 near Big Bend at 10:30 this morning. That's to the northeast of Redding. Here's one on land near Petrolia, 1.6 magnitude. This one happened at 4:05 this morning. Here's a 1.7 near Lake Pillsbury at 10:42 last night. Now coming on over to the Reno area, there's a 0.1 near Cold Springs. Here's a couple just north of Lake Tahoe, near Kings Beach. They're calling it near Tahoe Vista. 0 magnitude. That's not very big. And 1.1. Now these happened 1 minute, 30 seconds, about 30 seconds apart, 40 seconds apart. This 1.1 came in at 8:18 this morning, and this 0 magnitude came in at 8:19 this morning at 29 seconds. Isn't that interesting? And then here's one. They're calling this near Dayton. It's southeast of Carson City, a 0.9 at 3 o'clock this morning. Here's one across the border, 1.1 near Smith Valley. And And Hawthorne has gotten a little bit busy here. They have 10 here today. Ones and under. It's kind of a creepy area down there. I've driven down there. It's got a creepy feeling to it. Here's a 1.6 magnitude explosion near Gabbs at 2:33 this afternoon. Here's a 0.9 near Warm Springs. 0.2 Beatty. And it looks like southern Nevada, they're picking up a little bit. And the Nevada test site area and Area 51, they've got 8 earthquakes here today. And they're small. The largest one is this 1.1 down here near Summerlin South to the west of Las Vegas. Now let's catch Southern California next in Mexico. We've got 2 down here in Baja, a 2.9 and a 2.4, both near Delta. Then across the border we've got 3 at Holtville, a 1.9, 1.5, 1.5. Next, so what have we got here in Southern California here today? Including Baja and including this one, we've got 49 here today. Here's one in the ocean of 1.6 near Carlsbad. Here's, that's the largest circle. 2.1 near Mojave at 5:54 this morning. Here's a 0.8 near Pear Blossom, right on the red line. That's the San Andreas fault line. So we can see they're picking back up, and they're clustering. Here's the Kauai area, and then they're coming in pairs. See, we've got a pair here. We've got I lost them. I've got a pair here. I don't know why it does that. That we've got pairs and clusters. Here's a 2.3. Look at this big cluster. There are 10 there. And here's Kauai. There are 13 here in that area when I zoomed in. Mojave, we caught that. Here's a 1.7 Templeton, 2.0 San Ardo. We've got 2 right here together on the San Andreas fault line, 3.0 and 1.0 Parkfield. Here's a 2.0 San Ardo. Here's 2 more by the line, 0.8 and 1.4 near Pinnacles. 1.3 San Juan Bautista. Here's a quarry blast on the San Andreas fault line. Not a good idea. A 1.3 magnitude near Aromas at 11 o'clock this morning. 2.7 San Martin. That's getting up there. This one happened at 5:48 this afternoon at a minus 0.1 kilometer depth, right down here. So that was up in the mountain. Here's a quarry blast, a 1.3 near Loyola. They had one here yesterday too, I think, at 11:09 this morning. And what do we have here? We've got a cluster right on the coast near Boulder Creek. We've got 7 here. I'll call them off. 1.9, 2.8, 2.5, 1.8, 1.6, 1.4, and 1.0. These started this afternoon at 2:11 p.m. and the last one was at 4:49 this afternoon. So for whatever reason, those are pretty good sized. Now we're going to go, I missed Eastern California, so we're going to go back over there in a minute. 1.2 near Inverness. Here's a 1.9 near Vallejo. 2.0 Yountville. There's Yountville. And the geysers today have 41. So that's pretty good sized number. Well, pretty good number. Most are 1s and under. Here's a 2.1. The rest of them are under 1 and under. And then here's a 1.7 Lake Pillsbury. We saw that one. We saw this one, near Petrolia. Now, I don't want to get lost. I'm going to come down this east side. I've got to get Mono and Mammoth Lakes. Here's a 0.7 Tom's Place. And these three at Round Valley, 0.3, 1.2, and 2.1. Remember we saw that big cluster here at Round Valley a couple of days ago? So that's calming down a little. Here's another blast, 1.7 quarry blast near Wood Lake at 10:17 this morning. Here's Lone Pine at 1.6. Here's the Coso Junction area. There's 6 here today. These are small, 1s and under. And then here's a 2.1 near Mojave. Here's a 1.6 magnitude quarry blast near Apple Valley. And I think that covers it. So a lot in California today. Had a whole lot. They were small, but we saw some larger ones too. So things are picking up. So let's see if anything came in while I was doing my report. Here's a 2.7 San Martin, California at a minus 0.1 kilometer depth, 548. Did I see that one? I think I saw it. Where'd it go? I lost it. There it is. Yeah, I saw it. So that's a wrap for today. I do believe we're in the end times. No one knows the day or the hour. This is the time of the apocalypse. Apocalypse means revealing. Everybody uses the word apocalypse, apocalyptic, and they're meaning it that's like in the end times or things we haven't seen before. But it really means that things that were hidden are being revealed. And I believe many things are coming to the surface now so that we can see what's going on and so that we can make our choice as to which side we're going to be on when it comes time. And so you don't want to wait till the last minute to make that choice. because you may not have time to make that choice. It may be made for you. So until next time, God bless everyone. Go in peace, and good night.